Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're taking a deep dive into something, well, pretty profound from the Daily Heavenly Manna dated July 14th. We're looking specifically at the wisdom in Ephesians 4.31. The text says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice."
Right. And what's really fascinating here, I think, is how this ancient text doesn't just, list bad behaviors to avoid.
Yeah.
It radically redefines the impact of our negative emotions, our words. It suggests that from like a divine high standpoint, things we might see as common everyday stuff, well, they have much deeper, more destructive implications.
Yeah, that really makes you reconsider the unseen power of things, doesn't it? So our mission today is really to explore how this text makes such a direct, kind of uncompromising connection, equating hatred with murder and slander with assassination. But then here's the interesting part. We'll uncover the only extraordinary exception it gives for ever needing to speak evil of no man.
Hmm.
So, okay, let's really dig into that first part. This idea that hatred is murder. How does this ancient wisdom get there? Because, I mean, for a lot of people, that sounds startling.
Well, it forces us to look at the profound destructive power, often invisible, right,
Mm.
of our intentions and our words. This isn't just being dramatic. It's a radical idea that, spiritual or emotional violence could be just as devastating as actual physical harm. So from this divine high standpoint, your intent matters just as much as the outcome. A hidden resentment, a destructive word. In this view, it can kill a relationship or someone's reputation just as surely as a physical act. It basically says the desire to harm, even if you don't actually do anything physically, carries the same, let's say, spiritual weight.
Wow, that's a staggering comparison. And it goes even further, right, to actions that destroy a reputation. The text calls it robbery and rapine. What's that about? What does it mean?
Yeah, robbery and repines, it's using really powerful language. It means it's not just like a casual insult. It's presented as a violent theft. You're not stealing possessions, but maybe something even more precious.
Mm.
A person's character, their standing, their integrity, how people see them. And this is seen with the same seriousness as, physical violence and theft. And the text really stresses that when this stuff happens in the church, among the professed people of God, it's actually doubly evil. It calls it assassination and robbery of a brother because it harms not just the person, but the whole community, the trust within it.
That sets an incredibly high standard for how we speak and even what we think. But then you mentioned there's a glimmer of an exception. Is there really any situation where speaking what seems evil is okay or even necessary?
This is where it gets really nuanced, and it's crucial to grasp this part. The text does allow for speaking evil, but only, and I mean only, in a situation of absolute urgent necessity. It has to be completely contrary to our heart's wishes. So you're not doing it out of spite or anger or to feel good or frustration. Not at all. The motivation has to be purely because of love for others who, if not informed, might be injured.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like a life or death warning. You have to tell someone they're about to walk into serious danger. It's not for casual criticism or, just venting.
Okay, so definitely not a loophole for everyday gripes or judgments. It's a very specific, selfless act meant purely to protect others. That really brings up a big question, doesn't it? How often do our everyday criticisms or negative comments about people actually meet that incredibly high, selfless standard?
Exactly. That's the point. This context means if you feel you must speak a difficult truth about someone, it absolutely has to come from that place, that precise, almost life-saving need, driven by genuine love for others who could be seriously harmed, not from bitterness or anger or just wanting to tear someone down. It demands, well, a huge amount of self-awareness and really clear motives.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here? This deep dive, it reveals just an incredibly high bar for our words, our intentions.
Yeah?
The text sees negative communication, things like hatred, slander, wrecking a reputation. It views them with the same gravity as severe crimes, arguing that from that high standpoint, hatred is like murder, slander is like assassination, and destroying someone's good name is basically violent theft of their character. And the stakes get even higher when these things happen within a community, becoming doubly evil.
Yeah, and we connect this to the bigger picture. That single scenario where speaking evil is allowed. It's just that one. Absolute urgent necessity.
Yeah.
And it must be driven by love for others who might get hurt.
Yeah.
It really makes you reflect, especially today, with social media amplifying everything. How often do our daily criticisms, our call-outs, truly come from that place of absolute selfless love? Or is it more often just frustration or wanting to be right?
So, as you think about all this, maybe consider the weight of your own words. What does it really mean for you to genuinely try and put away all malice in how you interact with people. And if you ever feel you have to speak a difficult truth about someone, can you honestly say it comes from that very specific life-saving necessity and genuine love for others, the way this ancient wisdom suggests? Something to think about.